I normally have earphones in. Sometimes I don't really hear them. I just focus,
Wow.
get the job done.
Wow. On this episode of Chatting with Champions, we speak to Se-Bom Lee, who'll be competing at his first Olympics in a couple of days, representing Australia in the 400 meters individual medley. Welcome to the show, Se-Bom. How are you going today?
Good. Not bad yourself.
Yeah, we're doing all right. We had a couple of technical difficulties earlier, but we're ready to go now. We're having fun. I was just wondering, because I hear things sort of talking about individual specialists versus generalists, and the individual medley, you're a specialist at being a generalist.
Do a little bit of everything.
Yeah. How do you go about balancing training between each stroke?
So obviously the individual medley contains all 4 strokes. When I threw up my swimming career, when I started out, I wasn't really an IMer. I started probably when I was about 8 years old. I was a butterfly at the start. So I started real young. And it's gradually progressed from butterfly and then started to do a bit of everything. Backstroke was the latest addition to my talent. It's been a long journey trying to create, I guess, a good profile in all 4 strokes to be able to compete it under stress and fatigue. So it's just, it's I guess easy to train in swimming because you're not just only focusing on one thing, you can focus on all 4 things.
Yeah,
it's
just spread the workload.
Different stuff. Yeah. So some days will be different.
I was going to say, how do you break up each training day? Is it Monday you specifically focus on one stroke, or are you practicing multiple strokes a session?
It just depends on what day you usually do. For me, usually Mondays is just aerobic, so mainly be freestyle. In the quality sessions, I'll do all 4 strokes in the session. Other days be technical work, just working on my weaker strokes. So it's just we break it up evenly with the workload and without the week.
Yeah, and how much does a coach come into it? Because I mean, doing it for swimming for so long, since I think 4, you said, you would have almost memorized just about all the sessions that you've probably completed. How much does a coach weigh into your swimming, or is it just strictly the fact of the discipline of holding you accountable?
I think swimming works both ways for athletes and the coach. You got to find that right balance between the relationship that you have towards each other. Because also comes in with the discipline. Some days I'll just slack off, and coach will be right up my ass. Tell me to do the work properly. So it's just I think a good relationship between your coach and yourself as a swimmer or athlete. You need to build that relationship that the coach knows what's good for me or for the swimmer or the athlete, what works best, what doesn't work well. It's.
I was just going to say, how long I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just going to say, how long have you been with your coach?
So currently now, Coach Misha, my coach, I've probably had him for about 6 years now, including this year. So it's been quite a while. I've had him for a while, so he knows my ins and outs.
Yeah.
I'm swimming.
I probably I don't want to make assumptions, but for you, the last 6 years been the biggest and most developmental period of your swimming career, where you've probably made the most changes?
So I think when I first moved over to Misha, it was, I think I was about maybe 14, about 14, 13. Building that profile back to obviously the goal of making the Olympics or any world class team to represent your country as well.
Yeah.
It's so like you got to, I guess, develop a lot more, mature as well with age that comes all into play.
How long has making the Olympics been on your mind? Is it?
Yeah, sometimes people just wake up and they're 8 years old and they're like, I'm going to be an Olympian. Like, is that you, or are you just like, shit, I'm actually not bad at this sport. I might give it a real crack here.
I actually didn't really think about the Olympics until probably about 15 or 16. I didn't really think about it much when I was younger. I just, as a kid, I just kind of did everything sport-wise as a kid. Like I did basketball, swimming, running, athletics, footy, soccer.
Wow.
Gymnastics. So I did a bit of everything.
He's a generalist. He's a generalist. Hard generalist.
Oh, I didn't like sitting at home doing the work, so I chose to be a bit more physical.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So like, this just comes down to I had to choose swimming. I think I did kind of quit all my other sports when I was a bit younger. About like I think 16 in high school. When you had to do that co-curricular activities, it was compulsory. At school and stuff. So I kind of had to stop doing that because I couldn't, I guess, make the time for that with swimming commitments I had to do throughout the week.
Yeah, it's just too full on.
So yeah.
Sorry, man. I was when you made that call to sort of really zone in on swimming, was school supportive, or did they sort of frown upon that because obviously then you're like not breaking the rules, but you're sort of going against the grain? Were they really supportive of you honing your craft, or walk us through that?
So obviously all school, I got in trouble a couple of times because I didn't rock up to, co-curricular activities because I just obviously had swimming sometimes. I just get in trouble for that. But, I was like not trying to say like cocky or anything, but like as I was a swimmer, when I was younger, about in junior school, about year 5, year 6, I was probably like number 1 in Australia as a kid as well. So it's just, I've always had that talent with. I just had that talent, all the way through high school and junior school. And I guess school always knew, swimming would be my number 1 sport. And I had to talk to my year coordinators, sport co-curricular head coordinator and stuff like that. Say, obviously swimming takes a lot of time throughout the week with school and stuff. So I guess they were supportive, and obviously here I am, competing at the Olympics in a couple of days.
Let's go. I'm excited.
It's pretty wild. I mean, like, so this is your first time going to a massive event like this. Do you foresee yourself placing? Like, walk us through, what's your expectations?
So obviously, this is probably my first Olympics, and my first, I guess, open or senior team. A couple of years back, I was on the junior team for a bit, at Junior Pan Packs and then Junior Worlds in 2019. So I've kind of been there around like the world stage, but for obviously young level. And then making this Olympic team, I wasn't too sure I was going to make it this year. So for me, I guess it's for a learning curve for me, going to this Olympics, what it's all about, handling that pressure. For me, I guess the goal would be to be making the Olympic final. So that's what I can hope for.
That's a pretty cool goal, dude. I mean, like, hell, flat out, even just making the Olympic senior team at like such a young age, like that, hats off to you, dude, because that's wild achievement even in its own rights. I mean, dude, how many people go to their qualifiers, don't qualify year after year after year, and they're just like, oh fuck, I'll just drop out now.
100%, yeah.
Whereas like Se-Bom's out here just smashing the teams.
It's amazing as well, because like, did the fact that the Olympics got delayed a year, that must have helped a lot. Like, and then to have another Olympics after this one in 3 more years, like that must be awesome for you as a swimmer and your development.
Yeah, it was a blessing in disguise for me because last obviously 2020, I was the way I was training, I was like there was a possibility of me making the team when it was meant to be originally done last year in 2020. And then obviously COVID happened, and I just came back from injury after that. So they kind of put the brakes on for me to develop and get that training load, as other most people probably got a lot more than I did.
Yeah.
It was a lot of hard work this year trying to make this team. You know, it was such a long journey for me trying to maintain this shoulder injury I had.
Talk to me about your subscapularis or your partial, I think it was, subscap tear. Talk to me about that. When that happened.
So obviously in COVID, or when we were in lockdown, I decided to take a bit of time off swimming because I just didn't have, I just didn't take a break while I was the years before. I just thought, I needed to take a rest, refresh the body, and then come back, ready to go, firing. And then coming back in about May last year, using the state institute pool because I was a scholarship holder. So we started back, and then I was ticking along. I knew my shoulder has always had this problem. Coming back, I'd always struggle a little bit, but I'd get over it. But this time around, not until about August, so 3 months in, shoulder just wasn't getting any better. It was getting worse, and I had to, see the physio, see docs, see surgeons, and got an MRI scan done, and it's shown I had a partial tear in my subscap tendon, right at the shoulder joint. So it was painful, trying to get it treated. So it's been a long and hard journey for me to get to where I am at the moment now.
Climb some hurdles, man. Like that's not easy.
It's insane that just coming back, how much does, but like taking one session break, how much does that take away from your overall progress? How much progress do you lose by like taking a week off? I can't imagine a partial tear, like that'd also be pretty deflating.
Yeah. So missing a week of training, or a good block of training, does have a fair consequence on like your training ability. Your fitness level will probably drop just a little bit, not too much. Depending if you do, I guess for me, I was doing gym sessions out of the water, so that was kind of a thing. So I guess it depends what you can do and can't do on your injury. So in swimming wise, it takes a little bit of that aerobic system away from you to train back up.
Big recovery.
Yeah, so difficult. Just coming back and what, another 8-month journey until, was it 8 or 9-month journey until from recovery back into the Olympic trials in Adelaide? Is that about right?
Yeah. So I from first diagnosed in August, I didn't get back into probably full, not say full training, but the amount that my shoulder could handle was about until February early this year.
Wow.
So it would have been about 5 months, trying to build my strength back up, showing no signs of re-aggravation, try not to flare it up in training. I had one flare up in about September last year, but that was all managed and haven't had one since making the Olympic team.
Wow, that's good. Does that mean it's back to 99%, 100%?
No, for me, it doesn't feel it's 100%. Still feels about, I guess, 90, 95%. I still got that 5%. It's just, not sure if I'll ever be at 100% with this right shoulder. But the best I can do is, work at it and try to get better each year and out.
100%, yeah.
That's all we can ask at the end of the day. I mean, hell, I sure as fuck can't swim as fast as you, mate. So your 95% is probably a mile better than just about everyone else here. So no, hats off to you, because it's still a massive effort to go through that massive recovery, still pull up, still put effort in, and you're ready to rock and roll, I guess. So yeah, big props.
That in September.
Thank you.
In September, that re-aggravation, like what's going through your mind when you start to sense a little bit of pain in your right shoulder, and then you see the physio, like how's that all feel, and how are you taking that in?
It's a little, I guess, not heartbreaking, but your shoulder isn't what it used to be. Obviously, throughout the recovery process, it's going to hurt sometimes. Sometimes it might re-aggravate, sometimes it's just one-off thing. But, from I kind of felt like, what, let's just go back at it again. Maybe we'll change something different. Maybe, I'll probably go get surgery done and wait the year out, get back a whole lot better. Even getting surgery was a risk as well. Not knowing it will always heal back up 100% as well after that. So, I just kind of, stuck back in, get treated, do the best to not, I guess, re-aggravate and manage it a lot better than previously.
Yeah, 100%. Wow.
So is that on the cards? Is it surgery?
It was on the cards end of last year and early this year. I see a couple of surgeons here and there, see physios in our states. So it was definitely on the cards, but the last surgeon I met earlier this year said it was getting a lot better, so it wasn't really a need for us to get surgery if it was getting better. So if it was going to have another flare up, then we'd have like a big decision whether we get the surgery done or not.
Yeah, that'd be a lot to lay out.
Yeah, it sounds like you're taking this really serious. We were actually watching some of your older interviews, some of the older content that you have out there. You said in an interview that 3 words describe you was chilled, relaxed, and a bit of a jokester. We came into this interview thinking that, here we go, we're up for some jokes here. But man, it sounds like your Olympic career is really, really near and dear to you. You're not thinking about venturing into the memes anymore, because I saw some other stuff up on your Instagram that was like meme focus. Is that your backup plan if the Olympics doesn't progress? Like, talk us through that, mate. You're just going to run a full-time Instagram meme page?
You might already.
I actually never ran my own meme page. It was actually a couple of mates at my old swimming club who decided to run a meme page of me. I didn't really. I wasn't the content creator for that. I guess I was just the
focus of it, I guess.
Yeah.
I wanted to
meme.
read you this little quote that I found up on the Instagram, and let me know your immediate thoughts afterwards. Roses are red. Se-Bom is fit. The memes are back. It's gonna be lit. Dude, that sounds like some wicked fun. What were your immediate thoughts when that got put up? You're like, oh shit, here we go again, or were you like, yes, boys, let's go?
So when the meme page got revived, a second new face to it. My mate of mine said, let's, we'll try heat it up again. I'll try to make it a little bit better. He told me to actually, so I asked him what I could do to promote it. And he said to me, let's just put this phrase or joke in, and then I just decided to put it up because it was just something different about myself. And it was just a bit of fun behind the background, behind the scenes of what I do. So it was just a bit of fun.
So are memes your little hobby outside of swimming, is it?
Not really my hobby, but
because you said that like you're into all your sports and stuff like that before you got into swimming.
Yeah. I wasn't really the type to make. I wasn't that creative as a person, or that intellectual, I guess.
Come on, man! Stop selling yourself.
Give yourself some credit.
So it wasn't really on my head to create memes or something like that. But I didn't mind, thinking through some funny stuff, having a good laugh here and there.
That's awesome. Do you want to read out that game that that we'd had set up?
Oh yeah, we've got a little one or the other game set up for you, man. So I'm gonna pop off a few questions. The boys might join in. Just don't take too long to think about it. Just immediate answer, okay?
What would you rather?
Yeah, it's what would you rather, right?
Okay, yeah.
Hiking or video games?
Video games.
Wow, hang on. I didn't expect that after you're telling me you love the outdoors.
Yeah.
But sorry.
Love video games a little bit more.
Memes or stand-up comedy?
Stand-up comedy.
And what were you going to say, sorry, bud?
I was going to say, I do like the outdoors, but I don't like doing a hike. I'll do something different other than a hike.
Yeah, walking's a bit fucking boring for me.
All right, TV shows or movies?
TV shows.
Dude, you know that's so interesting. What TV shows you like?
I'm a big, huge Friends fan. So
nice.
That's like, I guess that's the number one TV show for me. I don't mind a action thriller TV series. I did like the Game of Thrones series, except for the last season, obviously.
They butchered it.
Yeah.
They really did.
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't
know. I don't know about the last season.
Oh, yeah, just right off the last season, the rest of the series was great. I'm in that same boat.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
And Instagram or TikTok?
TikTok.
TikTok, yeah. And lastly, this: if you were to quit swimming and you're going to represent Australia in the Winter Olympics, what sport are you picking?
Snowboarding.
Oh, nice.
Like that. Snowboarding. Yeah.
If you're listening right now, we're giving away one 20 AUD gift card to the first listener to DM our Instagram at the Outspoken Show, Se-Bom the swimmer. Yeah, I never know what to say was like 20 AUD, like gift card, like $20.
We've got American viewers. May as well just let them know it's AUD.
I don't even know what to say anymore.
They're like, shit, this is a scam. Only $10. Come on, bro.
It's like 11 or 12 US dollars. But I don't even know what to say. Stand-up comedy. Who's the go-to there?
Oh, what a couple actually. So as younger, my sister was showing me these YouTube clips of Russell Peters.
Brilliant.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So he's kind of the one I guess watched the most stand up, and then about Netflix coming about and then stand up being there. I started watching Kevin Hart, bit of Dave Chappelle.
Nice. Dude, you're getting into the heroes.
Yeah. Who else? Gabriel Iglesias or Fluffy.
Have you listened to his bit on the Indians robbing a bank and they're too nice and they can't rob a bank? Have you listened to that bit? Oh.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
What about Andrew Schultz? You heard of Andrew Schultz? That's a favorite for Dino and I.
I've heard of him, but I haven't really watched any of his shows. When he used to stand up.
Dude, some of his stuff is brilliant. I think it would be right up your alley, dude.
He's got a good YouTube where it's like these short 10-minute clips of his stand-up where it just little breathes into it. He's so outspoken. He'll just say whatever he feels and he thinks it's got to be funny.
That means
always about the laugh.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, you can't get cancelled. Being your own boss. It's like
it's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
I don't need that to go in quarantining. I go back.
Yeah. So speaking on that, like, how's that work with you've got going to Tokyo? How long, like, what date did you, or are you flying into Tokyo?
So I fly in, well, obviously we flew in already then.
So
when did you arrive in Tokyo?
We'll explain it quickly. So disclaimer, we're filming this on the 27th of June. So we're trying to speak in present tense when this is released.
We're a little bit stupid.
So when are you heading to Tokyo?
Let me just quickly check. I can't.
So not too soon then. 17th. Okay. And so there's no quarantine. Have you already done your vaccines? Or is that required?
Yes. It was part of the AOC program. So every Olympic potential long lists in every sport was given the vaccine prior to, obviously, depending on how the preparation and competition trials and go forth. But we had both our Pfizer vaccines done for us. So we're all vaccinated for it, heading to the bubble. Yeah.
And how are you expecting the village to be? Are you excited to mix with the other athletes, or would you just prefer to sort of go in your shell?
I'm actually pretty excited. You know, it's obviously my first time to Olympic Games and to a Olympic village. So I've got no idea what to expect. But it's the big, you know, huge place of like different athletes around the world, different sports. Yeah.
Pretty awesome. And are you single?
Yes, I am.
You might meet someone in the village, dude. Just saying.
Yeah, maybe.
Dude, the media knows that there is some crazy stuff that has happened in previous villages. So
I'm curious to hear your reports afterwards. We've spoken to a few people, but most of them have all had partners going in. So as a single person myself, I'm curious to hear what it's like in the village.
If it's any good, Luke might start getting really good at swimming. And
I might consider taking up a sport. I'll probably go for something like you can do. I might go for like archery or something like that, where there's like less competitors to get into the sport. But
you can do dancing. Or breakdancing, that's a new sport.
Although I might never break into that. I don't know.
Luke's gonna break.
Yeah.
2 left feet.
Yeah, I do have 2 left feet. And
I'll definitely keep my eyes peeled for, you know, any potentials.
Yeah, 100%. Is there have you started to, like, I don't know how it goes down. Do you start to interact with the Australian team going into the village? You say, hey, do you share pieces of wisdom, or hell, do you do it with the Finland volleyball team? I don't
know. So we had a bubble, or we're still in a bubble, in Cairns. So all of us are the swimming team. You know, part of that 2-week, obviously, restriction quarantine before we head off to Tokyo on our charter plane. Obviously we'll go get together, you know, hash some stuff out. Not sure about the Finland volleyball team, but maybe someone else.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Really?
So you go to Cairns. You go to Cairns. Is it later this week?
Yeah, at the end of this week.
And then so 2 weeks there. Is your coach going with you to Tokyo, to Cairns?
He's coming with me to Cairns, but not to Tokyo.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you'll just work over a couple of last minute things, or just make sure getting the basics done right. Is that right?
Yeah. So we'll have like a little handover period to one of the coaches selected on the team. So we'll all kind of already been addressed, knowing what team coach to have over there. There'll be that little handoff period where we, you know, have speak down with the coach, sit down with the coach, you know, and go through some stuff of, you know, what I like doing, you know, what gets me prepared to race and stuff like that. So all the little things.
Yeah, 100%. And what's that feeling of like just preparing for the race, the feeling of heading up to the blocks, the feeling of like hearing your name called out, and I love to see it, like, just as a viewer, seeing the name on that big board behind, and you walk out from behind the chain
and everyone goes
behind
nuts
the block. Yeah, like just good fun thinking about it.
I normally like, I've obviously, you know, when I was in junior worlds, making my first final for that, the 4 medley, it's, you know, it's different because, you know, obviously not many people know you, I guess, as a person around the world, but, you know, to hear your own country backing you, you know, to do your best in the race, you know, and then other people, obviously the public cheering you on, it's you know, it's a different feeling. I normally have earphones in. Sometimes I don't really hear them. I just focus, you know, get the job done.
Wow.
He's like,
you know,
rein it in.
Get everyone away.
Yeah.
I'm zoning in.
But the crowd is that loud, you don't even hear the music sometimes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So sometimes I'll give them a wave, you know, sometimes I'll be friendly. It depends what race I'm doing, stuff like that. Yeah.
And what are we listening to? What's the tune on the way out?
No, a bit of everything.
So it's not the same every
maybe.
time. There's no
No,
consistency
it's different.
there. Yeah.
No, it's just different. It's just what I feel like that day, what's going to get me through. That guess that nervous period for some people. Yeah, it just depends what I feel like.
If you were to be walking out there right now, what would be the song or the playlist that you'd be going for?
Being somewhere along the Disney soundtracks.
Ooh, interesting.
Luke will not be happy with that. Luke is notoriously
a Disney fan.
So get this,
Disney
Se-Bom.
fan.
I was listening to some powerlifters and some of the things that they listen to before they go out into meets. And one of them said that he trains listening to like Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, because he wants to be so angry at how terrible the music is that it makes him lift heavier and perform better. And then when people say, "Hey man, that's awesome, great work there, great performance. What were you listening to?" He hands them this terrible Taylor Swift song. Is that sort of your mentality listening to the Disney
Just like
soundtracks?
Disney.
I think you just,
Well,
like,
you just like Disney. Like, what is it there?
No, I like my
He likes
Disney.
Disney.
I like the Disney shows, TV shows as well.
Yeah.
Movies. No, I've done. Oh, I know some people like Taylor Swift and like Ariana Grande music like that. I've never heard someone listen to something so terrible that makes them so angry.
Yes, dude, throw some
Just
fire.
start lifting extra weight.
Yeah, you're desperate at that point.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, so obviously the Olympics is like the be all end all in terms of most sports. Now, because you're sort of just venturing into the beginning of your like, swimming career, I guess, are you looking at like the ISL, is it? The International Swimming League? Have you thought about that and sort of trying to get into the drafts?
It's been I guess something on my mind. I haven't really done the way they run theirs is of the short course distance. So over the last 4 years, I haven't really done any short course racing. I've just due to that Junior Worlds and Pan Pacs, so they just cover the back end of the year, which is the short course period. I would like to get drafted and get stuck into that. But yeah, obviously I haven't really made a name for myself before until now. So I guess I think maybe next year will be the start for me for ISL if I can hope to get in to a team.
Yeah, it seems like the way to go. Is that as a swimmer, one of the few ways to sort of get paid in a way that a lot of other sports or athletes get paid? Like as a part of a team. Is that one of the few ways for swimming?
Yeah, so ISL was such a I guess such a new thing to all of us, swimming, I guess, for money. Going the most points you can get and becoming man of the meet or woman of the meet, getting that, I guess, incentive of the bonus, to win and get that extra money to obviously go towards your swimming career or what you want to put it towards. Yeah, so I think it's another greater incentive for swimmers to get behind it, do their best in everything they do, be part of the, I guess, team. And
yeah, 100%.
It's like $6 million US in total prize money for the league for the season. I mean, that's kind of nuts. Like, it's a lot of money to be giving away, or for you guys to win, I should say. That's sort of life-changing money, hey, especially as a young fellow venturing into the sport. It can really set you up.
Yeah, like that money, could obviously, go towards, buying an apartment, getting yourself a car, or if you've already got a lot of money, you can just add it towards total.
That's it. Just keep building up.
Yeah. So it's a good incentive.
Definitely impactful. Has specializing in one event crossed your mind, or you're like, no, I'm just gonna be a specialist at being a generalist?
I don't know. I guess I didn't really have a choice in deciding what like specific stroke I wanted to do. Like I was just, I guess, good in all the other strokes. And coach decided, what, we'll try the IM and see how you go. I just did everything as a kid, butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, freestyle, all the disciplines. Not so much distance anymore. but it was just, I guess, a calling for me to do all four into one race. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
All just falls together, I guess, sometimes. Like, especially when your coach is sitting there and going, hey, man, like, you might be really good at this. It's sort of hard to just ignore them. Like, you got to take their advice, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I was a little kid, still in that developing stage. So, kind of had to listen to what coach says, and got to do. You got to do.
Yeah.
Be grateful for that.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to turn around and just say, no, coach, I'm doing backstroke. I'm 8 years old, but I know what's best for me.
Yeah.
That's probably what some of them do. It's just like they never make it. Or
they get kicked off the team. They're
never going to go.
I think it's a bit easier if you can specialize in being a versatile athlete, in the sport you do, because I think it gives you a lot more options of what you can do and what strengths and weaknesses you're going to create for yourself. So I think for me it's just been I've been able to do multiple stuff, and it's made me like a versatile swimmer, which is I've seen to be a real eye candy for selectors not want to paying too many athletes to go onto a team for specific events, stuff like that.
Especially if you're looking at going the International Swimming League route where you're trying to get onto a team, I guess that versatility and I was just researching it before, and being able to be subbed on and off during the, I guess in a way, match based on the outcomes of other events. Really if someone's just bombing, all right, we won't swim you, and someone who specializes in all four can go, all right, well, we'll use you here, and you're almost a plug.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a backup or bench warmer. If someone is sick or they're just not doing the best they can at the point. So it's just it's all backup for the head coach on the
secret weapon Se-Bom.
So, that's it.
Secret weapon Se-Bom. You sit in the shadows and then get pulled out and sub in. Fantastic.
Super subs a big role. Super subs are important in most sports. Super subs having good people off the bench.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many times in English football, international football really, where last minute super subs win matches. It's actually such an important role. People overlook it, but it's vital. I mean, hell, rugby union, if you have a super sub, you put a fresh new prop in and 130 kilo dude's running at you with all gas in the tank. He's ready. And you've been playing 60-minute match. Bro, you're cooked. You're not tackling him.
Yeah.
Come on now. It's the same with swimming, I guess. Yeah, exactly. You get an injury, whereas you can come on, man, and just absolutely perform last minute.
Yeah. Many other. Sorry, you guys.
That's I think swimming's a kind of a different sport, I guess, with team sports and being an individual sport. I guess you can't really sub yourself in. I guess you got to start from the start and the finish. Obviously, that's how swimming works. But interchanging, I guess the relay spots comes into play as well. Playing to your strengths and stuff like that. So yeah.
And in terms of, are you going to go while you're in the village? Swimmers have the best advantage, in my opinion, in being able to maximize the Olympic Games, because it's the first part of the competition and it finishes halfway through, whatever it is, and then you've got the rest of the competition to go do your thing. Are you going to go watch and sort of fanboy any other sports?
I'm not sure. I mean, I definitely would, but I'm not sure what the rules and regulations are because of how special this Olympic is because of COVID and stuff like that. But if I had a chance, I definitely would go and watch some other sports, especially the basketball. Would want to try to watch the surfing. Other than that,
that'd be sick.
Yeah, it'd be really fun.
Bad to watch. This would be cool to at the beach.
I
know.
Everyone seems. Sorry, man. What were you saying?
That's right. Well, I'm a surfer as well, so that's kind of I enjoy doing that in my downtime. So wouldn't mind watching a bit of surfing at the Olympics.
Is there anyone you're rooting for in the Australian surfing team or internationally, and you hope that they do well?
Uh, I'm confident that the Brazilians will do really well if they're on the if they're doing the Olympics. But I'm rooting for one of the home. I think the Japanese background, Kanoa Igarashi.
Yeah.
He's a Japanese American surfer. So I'm rooting for him to do well for him as well.
That'd be awesome. And are you gonna try and, I guess, connect with any of the Australian surfers, if you're able to, and just ask for surfing tips? Like, I'd be asking, how do I get up on the board? But you probably don't have that. You probably don't have that issue.
For me, it's a bit, the maneuvers is one I'm trying to work at the moment. Doing those tight turns and stuff like that. Definitely try to hit them up if I could.
Yeah. What's the difficulty with the maneuvers?
You see, the way it works. You got to find the right position to do a specific maneuver. Riding, not going too fast and getting back onto the wave where the speed is at. Just trying to do some tricks like show off and stuff like that. It's a timing specific. Get that timing right to do the specific maneuver you want to do and stuff like that.
Yeah. Some of the ones they do, like the pros, is just,
it's crazy. Some of the aerials are wicked.
Yeah.
They've really got the sport down pat, and it's very impressive.
Yeah. It's like sometimes it's repetitive, but it's what the sport is. So yeah.
It's when you're in there, it's sort of addicting. For me, who can't even stand up on the board, but the feeling of actually like catching a wave and trying to find the wave and then actually catching it and getting on my belly and riding it in because I can't.
Yeah, it's a good feeling, because when you're trying to paddle onto a wave, it's trying to stand up. It's also not easy to do. But yeah, it's a good feeling when you get on the wave and you can do all sorts of stuff on the wave and have fun with it.
Are you going to try and get a chance to go out surfing after your events, after your 400?
I don't think so. Not currently. Obviously I have that shoulder injury, so kind of gonna be safe about it. But definitely would definitely go back for a surfing trip back home when I get back to Sydney. That's definitely on the cards for me.
Definitely.
And if you could surf anywhere in the world, where would you surf?
Hawaii.
Yeah, nice. Good pick.
Yeah.
Hawaii. That's got to be the number one spot, I reckon.
Right on those reefs, man.
So beautiful.
Yeah. On top of the rocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's only like a meter or 2 meters worth of depth on like a 3 to 6 meter wave. It's scary as.
Yeah.
Surfing is like high risk too.
Like, surfing's crazy.
I always get scared of that board freaking like jackknifing back up into the air and like making sure my bloody kidneys aren't in the way of the surfboard, because otherwise I'm just going to get skewered.
Yeah, well, sometimes when a big wave comes, there's obviously a way to get onto that wave. Some surfers, sometimes they chuck their board out behind them, and don't know if there's a surfer behind you. Obviously, hit you, get that pressure of the board into your head, and there you go, you get concussed. So yeah, it's dangerous in itself. Yeah.
There's just going back to the Olympics, like from 16, 17. The first moment that Olympic dream sort of, or is it your dream? I don't know. Came into your mind. Are you there? Does it feel like you're there?
When I turned around, when I did that race at trials in Adelaide, it even still now it hasn't hit me quite yet. I've had little spurts, of that. Being excited to be part of the Olympics. Hasn't hit me like a lot yet, but I'm sure it would when I get that uniform, or when I head over to Tokyo or be with the team. I'm sure I'll hit it up then. But it's a weird feeling, being selected to represent Australia at the highest level in the world for swimming, and to compete, wrestle with the world with the best. It's a different feeling to have.
Big weight on your shoulders.
Yeah,
I guess, because you are representing the country, which is fantastic.
You're doing it for yourself and the country, which is really awesome. So we're over here rooting for you.
Thank you. Yeah, if I can do my best.
Yeah.
You'll be fine, man. Dude, you've honestly, it sounds like you've really put the hard yards in. Not many people go through an injury and then still perform at Olympic standard. Hell, most people will get an injury and they quit. So, you know, if you were going to be set to do it, it'd be now because you've got the mental for it. You know, like you're set to battle whatever comes at you.
Yeah. You know, coming from that injury, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to swim this year. So yeah, it's been a long journey and tough preparation to make the Olympics. In my situation, so it's just, you know, it's a huge relief for me, and you know, to be able to be part of that the Australian team. Yeah, it's honourable. Yeah,
pretty insane. And I feel like those 3 years time, like you're gonna be, where is it in 3 years time?
You're back at it again, yeah.
Where's the Olympics at? Is it in
Paris?
Paris, and then 2028, maybe, I don't know. But 3 years time, like I was gonna say, like 3 years time, that must be. Are you looking forward to that as well? Like
yeah. So
in terms of like the development, just like the building blocks of building blocks.
Yeah, that was the original plan for me, was to make the 2024 Olympic Games and try to be a medalist, top 3 over there, with the preparation, you know, having 4 years back in 2020. That was the original plan. And, you know, 2020 Tokyo Olympics was kind of on the cards, but it was something we were just going to push for and see what happens. So that was, you know, the main goal of 2024. But yeah, looking forward to that 2024. It could be awesome. Better laid out with the world obviously having, you know, COVID, be a bit better in 3 years' time. We'll see what happens then. Yeah.
Yeah, you get to talk to more volleyball teams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
yeah. So, you know, a bit more exclusive access.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, you'll be a king of the village by that point. It's been really awesome to chat to you, Se-Bom, and I'm sure you'll feel great for that 400 IM. I'm sure you'll crush it, and I'll back your shoulder.
Yeah, we're all backing you, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, if your shoulder was gonna shit itself, we would have already done it. So
yeah. Fuck it. It's the Olympics anyway.
Yeah.
If there's ever a place to have your shoulder blowouts, it would be.
Yeah.
I'll blame you guys for it.
We'll take that back.
Say it on it. Yeah, these random boys in Brisbane, they called it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me on your show. It's been an honor and pleasure.
No, thank you. And where can they find you?
Pardon?
For the people listening, where could they find you that wanted to follow your journey?
You know, I'll be on my Instagram. Mainly, you know, that's where I think most people get their fame from. Maybe some TikToks if I want to get that down pat from my second back up.
Yeah, and your Instagram handle is Se-Bom_bomb.
Yeah,
bomb being spelled
so
B-O-H.
Follow me there. Yeah.
So,
yeah, not the way my name's normally spelled, but I had a bit of fun with it. So yeah.
The bomb.
Brilliant. The bomb.
That's what it's for.
Let's go. All right, awesome. Yeah. Thanks for coming on to the show, Se-Bom.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.